Hillsborough Stadium opened on the 2nd of September 1899. In its 121 years of existence, this ground has seen the good, the bad, and the disastrous. It is stooped in history and is woven into the fabric of football and has been part of events that are still remembered to this day. In the world of Football Manager, I've been FM for the first time in this rendition of the game, so I want nothing from a win from this episode. Hey guys, and welcome to episode 3 of the Cherries Travel Guide to the Championship. My name is James, and on today's episode, we visit Hillsborough as we face Sheffield Wednesday in a midweek championship match. One thing I will say before we get into the news, as you probably noticed, I have actually switched sides in terms of where my camera sits, just because I felt that in my original place over here, with some of the new stuff in FM21 Beta, the area where this cam currently sits is used quite a lot, especially in the match engine, where I would normally be blocking out now the team list and things like that. So I thought, try switching to this side for the time being. Let me know down in the comments which you actually prefer. Am I blocking more over here or more over here? But for the time being, I'm going to switch to the left-hand side, see how this video gets on, and make a decision later on down the line. But moving on to the episode, since you were last with me, it's been up and down since the last episode. It's only been a couple of matches. We faced Watford in the previous episode. We then followed that up with a home win against Bristol City 4-2, where we continued to show our inability to see out matches. I think the players do start to get quite tired near the end of the match. This is worrying as we have quite a high standard of fitness coach at the club. But we started off the match really well. We shot into lead. We were 3-0 up at half time, and we only managed to score one goal in the second half and conceded 2. Which was worrying. When they started scoring, I did worry and think that they were going to bring it back to a draw. And then to follow that up, a match that I mentioned in the intro, this was infuriating, this match, because we dominated the first half, but we were 3-0 down at half time. It was one where it made absolutely no sense. I felt we did everything right we could in the first half, and yet Derby had 3 chances and scored 3 goals in the first half. This is obviously shown in some of the new stats we have in FM this year, where if we look at the XG for the match, we jumped ahead even with, in terms of XG, even with Derby scoring that goal very early on in the match. They scored that initial goal and then plateaued in terms of their chances. We shot off ahead, then started to plateau as they started to score more goals. But even in the second half, we still jumped up as well. We still had a sort of renaissance in the second half, but just couldn't score a goal. It was one of those matches where we only scored 1 in the entire match, but based on the chances we had, we could have easily won this 4-3, even with them scoring the 3 goals. But it was not to be. I called it an FM. I think there's an element of random luck in there as well. Derby taking their chances and us just not. I'm hoping there isn't a sign of things to come. I did mention last episode that our players were getting tired. We are playing, as I said, with a much smaller squad than I would like to. However, as I came into a very full wage budget, without being able to ship players out, which I don't necessarily want to do, as we were playing quite well at the start of the season. There's not much outside of the starting, probably 11 with the substitutes, and so being able to sell players isn't really an option. So we have to kind of maintain what we have and make sure that we just look after our key players. But even with that, I did manage to win Championship Manager of the Month for October. The cynical side of me says that that normally follows a poor run of form, especially in real-life football anyway. But hopefully we can buck that trend today with a win against Sheffield Wednesday. So let's get into the match. As you can see as well, we are still top of the table by 3 points. The win luckily wasn't too damaging for us. But one other thing that did flag to me in the previous episode, which I meant to do before now and I have forgotten, is I did notice I mentioned Cook, one of our players in the previous episode. I mentioned him twice, and then realised there's actually 2 Cooks in the side, and so I can't remember which one was which and which one I was talking about. So one thing I did want to do was, I think this is where we need to provide one with a nickname, and I thought, looking at Steve Cook is our captain. There is only one nickname I can give this man. There we go. So we have Captain Cook in defence. I'm sure those watching realised that I'd made an error there. But at least with that, at least now I won't get as confused about which Cook, because we have Lewis Cook and we have Captain Cook. So this is a team that's going to face Sheffield Wednesday today. We have had to make one or two changes. Brooks comes in for King, who is still struggling with fitness. He's recovering from a slight knock that he received in the last match. We've also had to bring Simpson in for Mepham. Mepham needed a rest. He's another player that was struggling, and with 2 matches a week happening over the next couple of weeks, I want to try and rest him where I can. See how Simpson gets on, and hope that his lack of experience doesn't cause us too many problems. So we have Ben Foster in goal, Smith, Captain Cook, Simpson and Correa as the back 4. Billing, Cook and Gosling are in midfield. Brooks and Danjuma are our wide men, with Surridge up front, continuing his time in the starting 11, keeping Solanke on the bench. He has been playing rather well in the last couple of matches, and so I'm going to continue to give him the opportunity to develop while Solanke is struggling to put in any positive performances. As was suggested by my assistant manager for the team talk, I do feel this is a match we should be winning. As much as anyone can beat anyone on the day, Sheffield Wednesday are one of those teams that I believe, if they didn't have their minus points total, would probably be a mid-table side. And so I think being able to win against them today is something we need to do. One other thing I have noticed, this is an awful clash of kits, not necessarily in terms of the colours, but the fact that they blend so well together. We've got obviously our very pale white-blue kit against Sheffield United's blue and white striped kit. Luckily they are wearing darker shorts, and at least it helps. That helps with telling the difference between the two sides. But Correa has the ball here, brilliant run into the centre of the penalty area. However, he did take a shot rather than passing it back to anybody that was in the box, and nothing comes of it. We do have a throw in here though on 7 minutes. Smith with the ball. Tries to find Brooks, but Murphy tackles him. Brings it forward for Sheffield Wednesday. Chips it into the centre. Correa is first there, though, to be able to clear it as far as Surridge. Surridge now looks to bring it forward with Danjuma. Danjuma in a little bit of space. Looking to go on a run, but he is blocked, so he does bring it back to Billing. To Gosling. Back to Billing. Back out to Danjuma again. Can he find a cross this time? He cannot. This time to Correa, who's being marked. And that was a silly pass. And we lose the ball quite easily there. Danjuma should have looked up before passing the ball. Simpson does win the ball back. Danjuma has the ball again. Now to Cook. Lewis Cook this time. To Danjuma. To Thierry Correa. Back into Cook. Cook, brilliant cross into Brooks on the far post. Puts it in. Past the goalkeeper for his second goal of the season, making it Bournemouth 1, Sheffield Wednesday 0. Couple of times during that period we lost the ball quite easily, and I did think it was going to start to drift the other way, but Cook with a fantastic through ball to Brooks, who wasn't marked at the back post, runs it into the penalty area, knocks it in to put us ahead in this match. Right, 11 minutes, we have yet another highlight. Correa on the ball, loses the ball when he passes it to Danjuma. Sheffield Wednesday now bring the ball forward to Patterson, ball through to Brown. He is by himself though. We have got men back. Good tackle by Correa again, playing well defensively in this match. Puts it forward to Danjuma. To Correa. To Cook. To Correa. Danjuma trying to play our way around the men. Danjuma now goes on a bit of a run. Away from his man. Into the centre of the pitch. He does lose it, but the ball does go to Brooks. Now to Gosling. To Cook. To Danjuma again, who's in the penalty area, is free. Knocks it into the same corner as the first goal for his 5th goal of the season, making it Bournemouth 2, Sheffield Wednesday 0. We have a corner on 16 minutes into the centre, looking for Billing, but Billing can't get to the ball, but it only goes as far as Gosling, who collects the loose ball. Now looks to try and bring it forward again. Chips into the centre to Brooks. Can he get a second of the match? He cannot. The first, he has 2 chances in it there. 2 bites of the cherry. The first one the goalkeeper saves. Second one hits the post. And we unfortunately cannot increase our lead. We have another highlight on 19 minutes. The highlights are coming thick and fast here. We have a throw in, but Sheffield. Apologies to all Sheffield Wednesday and Sheffield United fans. Sheffield Wednesday have the ball here. Look to try and bring it forward. Trying to get something from this first half. Murphy has the ball now. Through to Patterson. Back to Penny. Now to Banan. Sheffield Wednesday passing the ball around quite nicely, but we are keep trying to keep them at bay. Passing with the ball there. Now Brown. To reach into the centre. Brown, who's in so much space. He misses the offside trap there. Nobody moves with him. And Sheffield Wednesday have managed to pull one back after 20 minutes. I don't know what it is with us struggling to defend at the moment. But Brown was there. Korea had done so well so far, didn't put the tackle in for some reason. I have no idea why. Both Simpson and Cook were stood next to each other rather than someone marking Brown. But Brown was given all the space in the world to put it in, to give Sheffield Wednesday a chance in this match with only 20 minutes played. Right, that's better. Just had to close the blinds. It was quite dark outside, which meant it was quite okay in here to be able to record. However, I had to now close the blinds as the bright light is now coming in and causing shadows on my face. But here we have a throw in here on 30 minutes. We have the ball. Billings to Brook. Brooks looks to bring it forward. Can we make it 3-1 and make it a much more comfortable scoreline? Dejuma in the centre there should have put it away. He was in space there. We should have easily be 3-1 up now. And unfortunately, it's missed chances like that and errors like the goal for Sheffield Wednesday, which does still make this match very dubious. Even though, based on the stats, we are dominating this first half, we still can't seem to keep the goals out, which is very frustrating. Maybe errors like that are just down to a lack of experience. And that surprised me quite a lot. So we've seen Korea being skinned all too often today. That's quite surprising because in a couple of highlights we've actually seen he has been putting the tackles in and bringing it forward. So maybe he's getting skinned a lot more outside of the highlights that we're not necessarily seeing, because that's something that's really useful to come up. Right, one thing I am going to say: hands on hips. I'm not happy with the way we've been playing out there. They are all motivated. We are winning, but we should be winning by more. We have dominated that first half, and we've allowed Sheffield Wednesday a lifeline to be able to stay in this match. We should be comfortably ahead now. But first highlight of the second half, and Sheffield Wednesday have the ball. Looking to bring the ball forward to Peterson, to Brown. Through to Peterson. Cook doesn't follow his man, but luckily manages to get back and block the ball. And Korea manages to clear it. Right, 60 minutes on the clock. Let's make some substitutions. Danjuma is knackered. So let's bring on Stanislas for him. Cook is also struggling in midfield. So we may have to bring on Lerma. Yeah, so let's bring on Lerma for Cook. Cook is very tired at this point. And as much as much as my assistant says that Korea has been skinned all too often today, he is on a 7.3. He's got one of the better scorers in the side at the moment, so I am going to keep him on. 64 minutes. Sheffield Wednesday have a highlight. Goal kick, hoof forward, but we managed to win the ball back with Simpson. Now with Lerma to Stanislas, to Surridge, to Gosling, to Brooks. Surridge there with the shot from range for his 5th goal of the season. What a shot from Surridge. This is why I've kept him in the side over Solanke, because he can do something like this. Stanislas with the ball, down to Surridge, to Gosling. I thought this was building well. Brooks just holds it up for Surridge, knocks it forward for him, and Surridge smashes it into the back of the net. That makes the scoreline far more comfortable, and hopefully we can push on from here and get another. Right, on 70 minutes, Korea is struggling though. He's playing very well, but is starting to get very tired. So I'm going to bring Korea off. Let's bring on Rico for him. That's a straight swap there. And our final of the match. Right, 10 minutes left on the clock. We have absolutely dominated this match. We've had 20 shots, 10 on target, and an XG rating of 2.11 compared with Sheffield Wednesday's 0.97, which actually is quite high, being the fact they've only had 1 shot on target. I presume that's because they've scored, and because they've only had 5 other shots other than that. And that is it. Full time. Bournemouth 3, Sheffield Wednesday 1. Another good win. However, we are still struggling at the back. Smith, I didn't even realise how bad a game Smith was having, a 6.6. We may have to look at maybe swapping him out in the next match, give somebody else a run, give somebody else a chance. However, Brooks, with a fantastic performance today, an 8.0 average rating. He has been in and around all the goals today. Another positive result, back to winning ways. And that also increases our position at the top of the table to 5 points. So Brentford drew today. That's why we've started to pull ahead, and we are 8 points from 3rd position. So even early on this season, with only 10 games gone, we are starting to pull out a lead, and hopefully we can keep that and make that a significant one. Right, so I'm going to jump forward a little bit more again. The next match is likely to be Swansea. There are obviously a range of matches I'd love to be able to play on this side, but what I don't know if I made this clear at the beginning of the series, but one thing I wanted to try and do was to carry on with the theme of it being a travel guide, was just stick to the away matches, see how that works. Let me know down in the comments. Do you like the concept? Do you like the concept? Do you think it's working? Do you would you rather see the best matches throughout the season in terms of both home and away, or shall I just stick to maybe doing the away matches? I thought I'd try something a little bit different, so it'd be good to have your guys' feedback and see what you think. And then jumping forward into probably January, maybe we'll face Stoke or Derby or whoever maybe we face in the FA Cup third round to add a little bit of flavour other than just the Championship. If you enjoyed that, please give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to hit the bell icon to be notified of brand new FM21 Beta and FM21 videos when the full game launches. And thank you very much for watching.